Hey guys, Martiningen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, and today we are going to do a little bit of a showcase of the new free-to-play Angel Golden Frieza from the Universe Survival Arc story missions. You can see here he has leader skill. He's sort of like a mini extreme strength leader. He gives all strength types key +2, and then he gives extreme strength, HP, attack and defense 40%. So not amazing, but if you don't have Janemba or Omega, he's probably the next best strength extreme lead. I mean, you could use Perfect Cell. He gives 100% to stats, but he gives no key. So yeah, the leader skill's not great, but it's definitely not terrible. So his super attack causes supreme damage to enemy, raises attack for 3 turns. It has a really cool animation, but we'll see that in the showcase. I actually prefer his animation to the Angel Golden Frieza that will be coming soon. Is the Resurrected Warriors category leader, but to each their own. We'll get to check that out fairly soon. His passive skill, he gives himself attack and defense plus 40%, which is pretty decent considering he does supreme damage already. That's quite nice. And he gives himself ki +4 and attack plus 40% when facing 2 or more enemies. So that's not bad. There's a couple of obviously Dokkan events where you have some rounds where you face 2 or more enemies, and then that makes him completely self-sufficient. He has some very typical Frieza and Golden Frieza links. He has Prodigies, which is 10% attack. Universe Most Malevolent is 15%. Revival is ki +2. Strongest Clan in Space is ki 2 as well. Nightmare is 10% attack. Tournament of Power is ki +3, which is the one newly added into the game when these units and this story event came out. And then he has Brutal Beatdown for 10%. He's in the Resurrected Warriors category, although obviously if you pull the Int Frieza and are running that team, you can't use him in the team because he has the same name. He is also very much useful as a super attack fodder for that Int Frieza, so if you're going for him, make sure you have 9 of these guys at SA1 farmed up, as well as the one separate that SA10 with some paths open if you want to go for him. So maybe you can base that decision on this showcase. Mine is not going to have any hidden potential abilities, no orbs whatsoever, so you can see here these will be his basic stats. And we're going to be running him on an extreme strength team. So if we go over to the boss rush here, there's not really many decent events to showcase him on today, so we'll do probably up to we get to Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, because then we've got type disadvantage. So the team, as you can see, we have brought the Cooliza and the TUR version of LR Frieza because of all the Frieza clan links that they share. Like you can see, putting him in the middle triggers Universe's Most Malevolent and Strongest Clan in Space. So he's getting ki and a fairly decent attack boost. I guess we'll see how well he can take attacks. He's not a particularly tanky unit, especially without his passive active. So I imagine he's probably going to get hit relatively hard. The Cooliza can actually crit, so we'll see whether he can actually do anything for us here. We'll give those to Frieza. We definitely don't want to die in this first turn. This is not a good defensive turn for us, so what we'll do is we'll just use a ghost here. We don't really need to see how he takes hits against type disadvantage, because let's be fair, he's a free-to-play unit with no defensive abilities or links active, so he's obviously going to get hit like a truck. So we don't really need to see that for the sake of the showcase. So Cooliza doing 105k, that's him at about super attack 6, and then the free-to-play one 69,000. So not too great, but once we get a bit of a different rotation and we don't have type disadvantage, we might fare a little bit better. So the Janemba is obviously just here as the leader, and the Zamasu has Prodigies, which is why he's here, for a bit of a link up with the Angel Golden Frieza. So we're going to do this even though it's not obviously the best linking way to do this turn, but it at least means that we can get Zamasu floating off and get him paired up with the Golden Frieza in a couple of turns. We also have Omega Shenron, because not only is he good for helping the team defensively, but he also has Brutal Beatdown, which is a link that they will share for an attack boost, so that will be quite useful as well. So hopefully we won't get stuck for too long on the AGL Goku, because he having to start off with type disadvantage is a little bit annoying. So Janemba not getting too many dodges, but he's mainly just there for that sweet blocking ability. So let's see. So you can see there they have Brutal Beatdown, and then Universe's Most Malevolent and Strongest Clan in Space on the back end. Who are we going to get next? So after that we'll get Zamasu in the third slot, I believe. So let's try rotating off the Frieza, and then we'll see what he does when he has the Brutal Beatdown and Prodigy's links active. Although of course the fact that, bearing in mind the fact he's still probably not going to do too much damage because it's type disadvantage. So, and I'm unfortunately very low on orbs, so this is him just at super attack 10 base stats. He doesn't even have his free crit. I think I put an orb into each of the 3 stats just for the sake of having the star shining. He's got like +9 or +12 in each of the 3 stats, and that's it. So obviously not doing a huge amount of damage in this against the type disadvantage here. So let's see. We want the Frieza to be on rotation as well, but of course they share Metamorphosis as well. Well, we've got our next rotation pretty much sorted, so let's just do this. You can grab that, and then our Janemba can grab those. I didn't really take a look at the stats for the friend Janemba. I was just kind of happy to get a friend Janemba because they don't show up all that often. I thought I was going to have to go on a bit of a hunt and try and get someone to set him for me, but here we go. So now we are moving into a turn where we have neutral damage. And you can see here, so we have Brutal Beatdown and Prodigies as the only links, which were they both 10%, or was one of them 15? Let's double check here just so we can see. So 10% for Prodigies and 10% for Brutal Beatdown, yeah. So 20% attack bonus. Let's make sure we can actually get, can we even get a super attack? If we do that, we should bring the red down, or not. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, is that 6? Yes. Okay. So at least we can actually get a super with Frieza. So, and then I guess we'll just grab those with Zamasu. Mega's gonna tank like a boss anyway, so that's all good. So let's see. Now that we've actually got, oh, okay. So Mega's not done. So here we go. So neutral damage, Emperor Death Beam. So it's such a cool. I really like that animation. So 164k. Yeah, it's not the worst for a free-to-play unit. Obviously only 2 10% attack links active at that time, so let's see. What specific links does this Frieza have? Yeah, so the Cooliza and the TUR version of LR Frieza only share the same links with him, which is just the top 2. So 2 key and 15% attack, so I guess we'll keep, I guess it doesn't matter which one floats off, but the Cooliza is just the better unit for me at the moment because he actually has dupes and some orb investment. So we will keep him on this rotation and float the LR, well, the soon-to-be LR Frieza off onto the other rotation. So at least we got the 4th stage of the LR Frieza event coming soon. That was announced with the new event update. You can check out my previous video for all the details that they released on that. Sadly, because we just had the LR Androids campaign, we're probably not going to be getting an LR Frieza campaign anytime soon. So even with the 4th stage added, I can't imagine I will bother with the grind since I haven't done it yet. It's I mean, it's tough. 50 stamina a time for potentially you can get runs where you only get 5 or 7 medals, and that's just not really good, is it? Like, it's really not. You don't want to have to spend tons of stones to get him. So he does share Nightmare with Janemba as well, so that's pretty decent. So that's another 10%. So we got the 2 10% attack links active again. Can we get a super attack with him though? That is the question. No, no, not this turn. Well, that's annoying. Yeah, Omega should tank fine on the back end there. Although actually, if the Frieza takes a super attack, we could be in trouble. So we'll just grab a quick heal and then do this. So definitely the lack of the key links with the Frieza are hurting him a little bit. So it would be useful, or he would definitely be much more useful on an event with more than one opponent. So maybe if we get to Cooler, if we actually get past Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, we could show off the first stage of the Cooler event where you fight against his squad, because then that would be a little bit better for showing off what you can do. Okay, so we'll definitely do that. Although they have Metamorphosis. Actually, yeah, to be fair, the amount of health that we're missing out on is not really a huge amount at this point anyway, so let's grab those. We're going to save all the reds for the Golden Frieza, just so we can actually get a super attack with him if these guys don't take him out. But Janemba, it's not the hardest. Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say he's not the hardest hitter, but this guy obviously has a little bit of dupe investment, and he crit for almost 1 million, so proving me wrong. So now we're actually on to Super Saiyan 4 Goku, so we'll see if we can actually get a super attack with Frieza. At least we have the other Frieza, so let's cycle off Janemba just because he can block those hits at the back there. And then, yeah, we can definitely get a super attack with the Golden Frieza. So let's see how much we can get from him now. And then I guess we'll just grab those with Janemba since he's not going to super anyway. So let's see. So the TUR Frieza, again, mine has no orb investment, but he is super attack 10. So he did 146,000, and then the Angel Golden Frieza 139,000. So not much difference when you consider the fact that that TUR version is, you know, the step away from being LR Frieza, and the damage that they deal is fairly even. So obviously against more than one opponent, that Golden Frieza will be benefiting from the extra 40% to attack, which would be pretty nice. So grab those, and yeah, I don't want him to take them, so he'll just have to have that. So these guys should hopefully tank and dodge fairly nicely. So I have to see how this is obviously not the most optimal build for an extreme strength team, but I just kind of wanted to throw on units that would not only have links with the Frieza, but units like the Omega do help us to actually survive the fight. So maybe after we beat Goku, I might cut to the start of the Frieza, the start of the Cooler fight, sorry, so we can actually see his passive activate against multiple opponents. So let's put them like this. Yeah, see, they don't have Metamorphosis, so well, I suppose it doesn't matter because we're going to do this, get a heal and get a little bit of defense, and then none of these units can really take a hit, so we might just throw one of those on. So let's see. So he only needs 2 keys, so we can give Cooliza the super attack there, and then he can grab that, and the LR Frieza can grab that. Ah, damn it. Nope. Well, we're getting the Dokkan mode with Cooliza, which is not really what we wanted. If I'd realised it was that close, we should have tried to go for it with the Golden Frieza. So chances are, even though he doesn't hit the hardest, I imagine the Cooliza will take him out here. Let's see. Oh no, so the Angel Golden Frieza is actually going to get the kill. So there you go, Emperor Death Beam to Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Takes him out. So yeah, I think to save time, since it's not the quickest team at clearing events, I'll just cut to the start of the Cooler fight and continue from there. Okay, so here we are moving into the first part of the Cooler fight. Had a little bit of a struggle getting past Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta with the way I built the team, but managed to get some crits from Omega and Janemba, so Okay, so here we go. So his passive is now active. So we want to get, let's see if Janemba can take out, well actually no, he's not going to get any key, is he? So I was going to say we could see if Janemba could sort out Jace for us, but he's not going to get a super attack. So we'll target Dore so you can see neutral. We haven't seen what he can do with type advantage, but we'll try and keep Naze alive so we can actually see that. So we'll target Dore with this guy who, as you can see, thanks to his passive activating, he doesn't need any key. So, and then he can just attack Dore as well. So we're used to seeing around 150, 160,000 from him against neutral damage, and that was without his passive active. So now that his passive is active, let's see what he can do. So there you go, 318, that's definitely much better. But of course Thouser had to super attack, so that's going to be... 46 actually not that bad. I'm too used to Super Battle Road, I was expecting to see 100k, so... Right, so we want to take out Thouser. And then we'll target him because there's a high possibility that Omega could get a crit and just kill Thouser. So, and then we'll not get a super attack with Zamasu just in case as well, because we want to see what that Frieza can do with his passive active and with type advantage. So let's see if Omega can get a crit here and just take out, yeah, there you go, almost 2 million damage with a crit. So Janemba will possibly take out Dore as well. I mean, they are the two hardest hitting units on the way we've built this team. So yeah, we didn't get a super with Zamasu. Still managed to get a crit, but that leaves the door open for Golden Frieza here to... except of course, yeah, stupid me. So there's only the one enemy left, so his passive's not active. So all we'll get to see really is what he does with the type advantage, but we haven't seen that yet. So we did about 150 neutral, 300 when his passive was active neutral, and then around 300 with type advantage. So I mean, you could estimate he'd do somewhere around 400 to 500,000 with his passive active against type advantage. So that's not too bad for a free-to-play unit, all things considered. If you are free to play, he is definitely a unit that could slot into the extreme strength team, maybe as just a floater because of his links. If you're running the LR Frieza, for example, or even the Cooliza, if you're running the LR Frieza and Cooliza pairing, then he's someone that can float in on that third rotation to offer some extra links, and he's not the worst unit. So there you go, that has been a brief showcase of what he can do, and yeah, it's definitely worth farming up. I mean, I try and farm up everyone for collection purposes anyway, so he's definitely not the worst free-to-play unit. Might try out a free-to-play STR team against the physical stage of the LR Goku event and see if how he ranks among the top free-to-play units. But for now, that has been it for this video. This has been the Masked Ningen. If you liked what you saw, please leave a like and subscribe for more regular Dokkan Battle content. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Masked Ningen. Feel free to tweet me your summon pools or ideas on themes or teams that you want to see in the future. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, so hashtag 500 Mortals Plan all over the comments, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.